can see you. Hear you. Ah! No! You mustn't touch us. We don't exist. We are ghosts. Your friends.
Fiends and angels.
We know nothing except everything. You know.
Want
To know. Then tell me. Tell me everything I want to know. What do you?
what to know, Mary?
Tell me where I am and how long I've been here.
That's too simple. It's no fun.
You know that already. The pain.
Sylvania Hospital?
The same as it was this morning. This morning? How long have I been here? It's the same day as it was before. Only a matter of hours? It's not possible. Being in that chair is horrible. Horrible. That's me.
Get for being crazy!
Crazy Mary Gerard! But I'm not crazy. You know I'm not. You must be. Mr. Gerard had you admitted.
As a lunatic paying patient.
The doctors have agreed to keep you here as long as Mr. Gerard
Continues to pay.
your bills. It's all a misunderstanding. When I see the doctors, when I speak to Mr. Gerard, it will all be corrected. It's a mistake, I tell you. And that chair, I thought I'd go mad. She will, in time.
Start raving mad!
The chair is one of the prized possessions.
An invention of Dr. Rush.
He positively loves it, and so do we. I couldn't move. I couldn't see anything, and there was such a roaring in my ears. I thought I would go, that it would drive me. Yes.
Go on.
Don't stop. We want to hear everything. All sounds were strange, distant, as though I were underwater. It seemed so terribly hard to breathe. Later, I fell asleep. I thought I was being smothered, coldly, carefully smothered, and I awoke screaming. But you were only here, experiencing the effects.
Of the tranquilizer chair.
And the echo in the blocks of my own screams. It was horrible. Why would they put me in such a thing?
But it's the...
Proper treatment for your type of madness.
Everybody knows.
There are two types.
Of madness. The torment.
And those subject to excitation.
Dr. Rush.
Has invented the tranquilizing chair.
For types like you.
One subject to excitation.
Or claims of sanity.
I feel weak, faint. It's only natural. After the
Bloodletting.
bloodletting, it's quite regular, quite customary, quite natural.
It lessens greatly.
Your protestation
Of sanity. From you they took.
30 ounces of blood.
You didn't feel.
A thing. You see how well the chair works, Mary. I have to get out of here. I can't have only been here for one day. It isn't possible. Less.
It's only now.
Near midnight. Soon it will be Sunday. Steve and Gerard will be his usual pew. Praying for your soul. No doubt. I must see him. I'll ask him to forgive me or to let me pass out of his life as though we never met. Ha! The idea!
Horrid!
Shocking! Disgraceful!
For a married woman.
Leave her husband! She must be
Mad!
If you knew anything about me, you know that my marriage was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Until this. The hussy!
I must say.
I'm shocked! And this from
A woman legally bound.
to a husband for 13 years. She sounds like a woman of
The streets.
a common whore!
How dare you speak to me like that?
I am Mrs. Stephen Gerard. Get away from me and get out! Oh no, Mary. Don't, Mary. Don't send us off, for
believe there are people like that. People who do things like that. It's cruel. People aren't like that.
She has so much to learn. You mustn't undervalue the power of an accusing finger.
The amusement people derive from the suffering of others.
They relish it.
Rejoice for it.
It mustn't be allowed. I'll speak to someone about it.
Speak to someone. It mustn't be allowed.
Do not look at me. Not here. You said you know all I want to know. Then tell me how to get out of here. Please.
We can show you. Yes, show you.
You have to stop.
At the beginning, by seeing the warder
The
of.
cells.
But I saw him this morning.
You won't help me.
You have to! If you are to know the end, you have to begin at the start.
Here ye go. This way. In here, Mary.
My name is Mrs. Stephen Gerard.
Oh, well, you'll be right at home. We've got the Queen of France and King of Poland here too. Call yourself whatever you will. I calls you Mary because I was told by Mr. Gerard himself I was to so call you.
You came to my home in your carriage to bring me to see the doctor. You know I'm Mrs. Gerard.
I went to Mr. Gerard's home, not yours. It's Mary ye be, and Mary you'll remain as far as I'm concerned. Unless you take to being the Queen of Sheba or somebody else.
Look, I have some money.
Oh, you'll be glad you give this to me. I'll see you get some real food some other time.
You don't understand. I came with you to see the doctor, and you're to take me back to my home.
Home? This room's your home now, Mary. Me name's Frankie. Ye be good to Frankie. And Frankie'll be good to ye too, Mary.
I demand that you take me to the doctor at once.
Snooty, ain't he? Wants to see the doctor at once, do she? Well, doctors do sometime, week after next. So ye can get to feeling right at home.
Do you have any idea who my husband is?
He is the wealthiest man in the city of Philadelphia, possibly the wealthiest in all the Republic. If you keep me here against my will, you will be making a terrible mistake. He might sue this hospital, board of directors, you, and everyone connected with it.
Nope, don't think so. Seems I know more about your Mr. Gerard than ye do, Mary.
I doubt that anyone in your position would know anything about the lives of Mr. Gerard.
I know. It was Mr. Gerard himself who said you're a lunatic and asked that ye be put in.
That's a lie! What are you doing?
I'm only doing my job.
But surely you can see this is wrong.
I'm not paid to see what's right or wrong. My business is locking me up.
Is this a prison?
That's real insulting, that is. This is the Pennsylvania Hospital, and you're in the ward for the mentally deranged, a place where lunatics, in plain speech.
But I'm not a lunatic.
That's not for ye to say. That's for Mr. Gerard to say. He be your legal guardian, and he's the one who put ye here.
He would never. I don't believe you. He's not medically qualified to pronounce me either sane or insane.
He's your husband, ain't he? This, Stephen Gerard.
Yes.
Well, there you be. He don't got to be no doctor. All he is your husband. That makes him your legal guardian.
Look at me, sir. You can tell I'm not like those others.
Oh, lots of crazy folk come in here looking just fine. I just give you about a month.
This has to be a mistake. No one has examined me. My husband said I was to come with you to see a doctor.
Yep, that's what we tell most of them. Works nearly every time.
Don't jest with me, sir.
Oh no, it's no jest. I'll just get the good Dr. Rush's tranquilizing chair for you. I think you're sort of subject to excitations. You'll feel better then.
Don't be upset, Mary. That's once past. You can forget all about that one, Mary.
I have to get out of here. I have to speak with someone. When will they let me see someone?
But we can let you.
See anybody?
You too. Just tell us who it is.
Will you truly? Or am I only imagining this?
What does it matter, Mary?
Give us the names.
I want to see my mother.
Her mother.
Oh, how funny!
Little Mary wants to see her mother.
Let me see her, please.
Madam, you sent for me.
Mother, Mother, you've come to me.
Of course, I would come at the bidding of Mrs. Gerard. I could hardly do otherwise, could I?
Oh, I need you, Mother.
Need me, madam? Surely there's nothing I can do for you.
It is comfort that I need.
Comfort? You live in the very heart of comfort. Never have I seen a house this fine, furnishings this rich. You must be quite happy here. This is not my house. This is a cell for lunatics. Surely you can see it. I see only that when you married above your station, it brought you great rewards. I also see why you did not want your family coming here.
You thought I didn't want you here because I wasn't ashamed of you?
It's all right. We knew it would happen. It's to be expected.
But it wasn't me at all. It was Mr. Gerard. He didn't want you here.
Why should he? We wasn't kin to him. And I won't listen to you berate Mr. Gerard.
Mother, my husband abuses me.
For shame you should give him cause. You should have learned by now that there is nothing unusual in a husband's abusing his wife. It's the husband's place to rule his wife, the woman's to obey her husband.
Why didn't you explain this to me before I married Mr. Gerard?
You were a woman, madam.
I was 16 years old.
You were not so innocent. Your marriage was a financial transaction. You knew what you were doing. You got the home you wanted, and much more.
Look about you. I have nothing.
Then you can only blame yourself. You should have hidden whatever loathing you may have felt behind a display of feigned affection.
I would have been a liar.
You would have fared better.
I asked you here because I have desperate news. I am with child.
This is wonderful. Mr. Gerard must be overjoyed. I haven't told him, but you must at once.
I cannot.
What do you mean you cannot?
I fear what he might do to me.
Do to you?
It is not Mr. Gerard's child.
No!
I have informed Mr. Gerard that I intend to leave his house. I want to come home again.
I cannot help you, madam. You have stupidly jeopardized not only your own welfare, but everything else as well. If Mr. Gerard repudiates you, so must I.
No, don't leave me. Don't leave. She didn't even see me here. She thought I was still mistress of my house.
You never were. Were you, Mary?
What? Leave me alone. You cheated me. I want to see my mother here.
Do you think, do you imagine
Do you suppose
That it would make.
the slightest bit of difference?
Yes, it would. I know it. When she sees me here, she sees what they have done to me.
But she
won't marry?
won't.
Why should she?
She'll get from Mr. Gerard the little help
She's always
wanted. She'll not come
here
again.
You're lying to me. Lying.
We?
You're doing it to yourself. We want you to see.
How things are.
Dr. Rush asked that I speak to you personally, Mr. Gerard, regarding the condition of your wife, sir.
If there is some question as to the payment of her expenses, I shall naturally increase the allotment.
No, sir. It's not a financial matter that brings me here, but rather one concerning your wife's mental and physical condition.
As I am quite familiar with the one, and not at all interested in the other, I doubt that anything you have to tell me could be of the least interest.
I have a rather surprising news for you. Mrs. Gerard is with child.
Yes?
Do you mean, sir, you have been cognizant of that fact?
I have.
And yet, you brought her to us to be confined with the mentally insane?
I brought my wife to you because she is insane. That has nothing to do with whatever physical condition she may be in.
Mr. Gerard, I am happy to tell you that is not always the case. It is not uncommon for a woman with child to exhibit many of the signs we ordinarily ascribe only to the insane. When a woman is with child, she is wont to have imaginings, strange cravings, certain outbursts of temper one does not expect. What I'm trying to tell you, sir, is the happy news that Mrs. Gerard is probably as sane as you or I.
My wife, sir, is insane.
Mr. Gerard,
I say she is insane.
she is with child.
That is a fact. I wish you and the members of the board to disregard. True. I was previously aware of her condition, but I've chosen of my own free will to ignore it.
I have just told you that your wife is soon to be delivered of your child, and you advise me to ignore it?
Precisely.
Mr. Gerard, I am trying to tell you that we cannot permit you to leave Mrs. Gerard under these conditions.
I see. Perhaps this will be sufficient.
It is not a question of money, sir.
It has been my experience that everything in life is a question of money.
But this is made out.
To you, sir. You see, I do not choose to be concerned any further with any difficulties that may arise due to my wife's confinement. I ask that you personally see to it that whatever needs to be done is done. You need not ever mention this check.
I don't know what to say.
Answer only this. Can it be done?
Yes.
Good. See to it.
But, sir, what of the child?
That, sir, is no concern of mine.
I would not have a child of mine born under such conditions for all the money in the world.
And I can assure you, sir, Neither would I.
Mr. Gerard, do you mean the child?
I bid you good day, sir.
Sir.
No, Mr. Phillips, don't go. Please don't go.
He can't hear you, Mary.
He looked right at me.
He can't hear you.
Because he doesn't want to. Men lose all their faculties.
If the prophets sound,
He won't hear you.
nobody will.
Poor Mary. Poor Mary Gerard.
What will become of my child?
Whose baby is it, Mary?
Yes, tell us, Mary.
Tell us. Tell.
The father is unimportant. He was someone warm and affectionate to me.
You were untrue, Mary.
Husband.
You betrayed him.
broke your marriage vows.
For shame. Shame, Mary. You're trying to drive me mad.
You should have been like Polly.
Kitten.
Yes, definitely.
Like Wally. Then you would have
Been all right.
had your baby.
And your home.
What are you saying?
Polly. Polly Mary.
Soon the whole city will know.
Mr. Gerard's Polly.
What are you talking about?
They were talking about me, Mrs. Gerard.
Who are you? I don't know you.
My name is Polly Kenton. I'm not important, really. Only one in a long line of girls and women he will turn to. Has turned to already. You know that.
Yes, I know it. And there will be others too, I suppose.
I'm sure there will be. The difference is that I will be more successful and longer lasting than the rest. He will even come to care for me a little, as much as he is able to care for a woman. Anyway,
Why didn't he care for me?
in the beginning he did. You should have had his child.
But it wasn't my fault we couldn't have children. Oh, I thought it was. I knew he blamed me. I knew he thought I'd swindled him because I couldn't give him a son.
You sound as though you wanted him to care for you. You should have known what you could get from him and what you could not.
His affection was all I wanted.
But he had none to give. Wealth was what he had to give you. If you had given him a baby, you would have completed your side of the bargain.
We could not have children. We tried and we could not.
You should have seen to it that you had a child, even if it was not his. He would have thought it his, and the bargain would have been complete.
Must it be like a business transaction?
All relationships are. Everyone expects to get something in return for what they are giving.
You've not had his children, have you?
Of course not. A man expects his wife to bear his children and mistress to bear none.
Yet you've won his affection. Why? How?
By not even wanting it.
What tolerable wrong have I done him?
You were not sensible. You see, it is never sensible to expect a man to understand or to tolerate the dreams of his wife.
And they told him I suffer from dreaming?
Oh, we got some cures for dreamers here, Mary.
Dr. Rush, his special care to dreamers, Mary.
Bring him to me.
We don't know.
Who you mean?
We cannot.
Bring Stephen Gerard into this cell.
No.
Oh no, we must not.
We cannot.
No.
No.
No! Bring him!
How did you get here?
I am where you placed me, Stephen.
Where, I shouldn't be in this place.
No, Stephen, no.
Is it true that the baby is Mary Gerard's?
The baby's origin is a matter of no importance, Mrs. Hatcher. You will receive the set sum for nursing the child, just as you have with all the other children you've cared for in the past.
Yes, Mr. Phillips. I
calling on me again. Why have you done this to me?
I had no choice. You are insane.
Don't lie to me, Stephen. You know as well as I do that I am sane.
Such a pretty little baby. What is her name?
Her name is Mary.
Call her whatever you wish.
Oh, I shall take such good care of this one, Mr. Phillips. There will be no repeats of my old mistakes. I'm ever so much better now.
It is best if you keep hidden from your neighbors the source from which you received this child.
I've never had a little girl before. I think I'll call you Rose. Rose is my name, and you'll be my little girl.
Mrs. Hatcher,
Yes, Mr. Phillips.
I would caution you against becoming too fond of this child. Treat it just as though it were a normal child.
Isn't it a normal child, Mr. Phillips?
This baby seems normal enough, doesn't it?
Don't let him do this.
Its mother is a patient among the insane.
Oh no!
The baby has been born by and among those possessed of devils.
God preserve us.
Is that what I am to you? When we met, I was 16, a servant, and I was happy without even knowing it. Do you remember that girl, Stephen?
She does not exist, madam.
No! We destroyed her utterly. Didn't you ever love her?
She was pretty. People noticed her. She was innocent. A trait few women have.
Innocent? And then she married you.
She had everything she should have wanted.
The cost was too great.
It cost her nothing.
Nothing.
You had everything a woman could reasonably have wanted.
What good is reason without some little affection?
If you wanted affection. You should have seen to it.
Stephen, I made no attempt to hide my behavior from you. We differed in one way. I didn't bring my lovers under your roof. Perhaps I should not have done the things I did, but don't lock me up. Send me away, Stephen. Lock me in a room. Allow me to suffer my conscience and dream my dreams alone.
Alone, a seclusive wife pleases no one. It is more important for a man's wife to see to it that his needs are met. You failed to be a beautiful wife. When I found you, you were a peasant. I had hoped you would develop a sense of who you had become in becoming my wife. You have failed me!
No! When I was childless, you blamed me. I too thought I was barren, but it wasn't me. It isn't my child that is loathsome to you, Mr. Gerard, but the freedom of my mind and my love of life itself.
I will see to it myself that you endure hell on earth. And I will pray that it may endure forever.
All right. All right. But my baby will live.
She thinks her baby, her infant, her child.
We'll give her comfort.
So relief.
Not so, Mary.
No, you were untrue, Mary. You betrayed him.
And broke your marriage vow.
For shame, Mary!
Only evil comes from evil. We have shown you the past. We will now show you what is yet to be.
She is so very lovely. If I ever doubted you were worse than suffering, please forgive me. I am nap.
Oh yes, we can do that.
The question,
However, is how long?
How long? It will not be.
A longish life.
Will she die young?
She will!
Yes!
Quite young!
Quite young? Will she live 20 years?
20? What an age!
15 years?
Certainly.
Not!
In 10 years? Surely.
nothing like it.
Far from it.
In 5?
Yes, Mary. Yes, indeed. You've hit on it.
Only 5 brief years of life?
Years?
We said nothing.
About years?
But you just now said 5.
Months, Mary!
No! Oh no!
5
It's
months.
quite enough. Then buried in an unmarked grave that you will have in common, Mary.
Tell me when. If God has any mercy, it will be soon.
Guess we couldn't just say.
Oh no, you'll have to guess.
A year.
So short a time. Heavens, no.
Then 5. Surely no more than 5.
Yes, 5. So clever is our Mary. 5 and 20 more.
20 more? 5 and 20 years? I cannot stand it.
Most of it.
We'll be there.
In the tranquilizing chair!
No! God will be merciful and let me die soon. Please!
Isn't she funny?
Get away from me! I won't listen to you!
You made the mistake of believing in your own beauty.
It's been your doing and your undoing. It's played you a trick.
Stop it! All of you!
Do you hear? She's insane.
Insane! Leave me alone! Don't touch me! Stop!
Maybe they'll tear the baby from her!
Condemn it for a cursed thing.
Kick it.
Bury and live!
Now she's caught our scent. At last she understands.
Yes, at last, I do understand. What if I were insane and didn't even know it? I think I wouldn't care. If I were calm, they would not always lock me in that chair. If I were to accept you as my companions and not resist you, I could walk about, give birth to my poor, pitiful child. Isn't that true?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
If I were to turn my back on that world, scorn all the values it adores, deny myself the luxury wealth can provide, then that must stand as proof that I am insane, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
If I were to prefer all this to all that, then the world would know me to be mad, wouldn't it?
Yes, certainly.
Most assuredly. Definitely so.
And if I am not mad already, I soon shall be. There was a point in my mind where all is quiet and calm and peaceful there, where no human being can enter. And by comparison, the world outside is heartless and cruel. I shall have nothing to lose, and it shall be